Hey everybody. So, the topic of my new video is veganism. What brought me to it? Well, a few years ago, roughly 4 or 5 years ago, I was having bad feelings about eating animals. It just kind of came on to me. Like, I'd be eating some chicken and I'd be hearing, "Bakak!" Or like thinking about like the death of the chicken, and it just kind of irked me. It just made me feel some kind of way, especially when I ate at certain places, like certain fast food spots, as opposed to eating chicken from a certain level of quality, quote unquote, chicken at the market. So when I started thinking back in my head, like, why am I feeling this way? And I started reminiscing back to when I would watch documentaries online about what was in animals, like what was actually in meat, which was this actually came to me when longer than a few years ago. This is when I was in high school. Someone showed me a video of what was actually in meat: maggots, insects, and he showed me that the red meat had the most maggots and insects, then poultry, then fish, and so in any event, I started questioning what was I consuming and why was I consuming it. And so my philosophy is, well, um, you need your protein. You need to get your protein from the animals. So, I felt like, a T-bone steak has like on average like 23 grams protein, something of that sort. And I felt like I noticed that those pieces of meats had the most protein. And I was always raised that, you need your protein as a man, particularly if you want to be healthy and strong and build strong muscles. So I was playing football many years ago, and then even after I got out of football, being in the military, I wanted to, be the best physical condition I could be in, and aesthetically appearing to be very strong. So but I started thinking. I started, thinking outside the box. I was like, yeah, but this doesn't feel right. And so then I was just looking up, eating animals. Is it right? Is it wrong? And I came across this young man by the name of Ralph Smart, who does YouTube videos. And so he started talking about his journey about coming from a meat eater to being vegan, why he was that way. And he stated that he felt that their life was worthy and that he didn't need to eat it, and that there was other alternatives to obtain protein via plant-based protein, chia seeds, chickpeas, quinoa, etc., sea moss, things of that nature. So when he started talking about this, I was a little skeptical. Like, yeah, but I mean, how many dishes can you make with that food and it tastes good? So then he brought the fact that you can go to vegan restaurants. So around this time, I got introduced to, when I came back home, when I was overseas, I got introduced to a restaurant called Busboys and Poets. And they had vegan options. And they were actually pretty good. So I was like, man, this is really, really good. And I started continuing to listen to his videos and doing my own research on veganism. And slowly but surely, I weaned off of red meat. Then I weaned off of, and I actually was weaning off of that prior to really thinking about veganism. I barely ever ate red meat except for maybe a cheesesteak sub, but that was once in a blue moon. But in addition to weaning off of the red meat and then completely being done with red meat, then I eventually started weighing off of poultry or chicken, and turkey and so forth, and then eventually got to a point where I wasn't eating any of that. Then finally, I lastly gave up fish. In which case, in February 2014, I became a vegetarian. Fast forward, about roughly a little over a year ago, I was really thinking to myself, I really got to take it to the next level. I'm still eating eggs, and, I was thinking, I'm eating the babies of a chicken, it's still not really where I want to be at. And eventually, I still kept hearing the sound when I was eating the chicken. So I was the eggs. So I was like, this still don't feel right. And so I finally, a little over a year ago, about 18 months ago, I gave up eating anything from an animal, which is hard because you notice most things on the packages have leche or milk, i.e., milk in it, or it's eggs and things of that nature. So it can be, it's one of those kind of things where it was like, man, this is going to be a challenge. You know, you go to McDonald's, you want to get that egg and biscuit sandwich, but can't do that no more. Hell, can't even go to McDonald's at this point because they ain't selling nothing that you can eat except for maybe the oatmeal or water. But I figured I was up for the challenge, so I gave it up. 18 months later, I gotta tell you, I get all the protein I need. I feel great. I don't need animal products. I haven't like become a skeleton. Um, you know, I feel strong as an ox, and a lot of things actually run through me very easily. A lot more. I can't remember the last time I got constipated. I mean, I was literally gave up animal products since February 2014. So I think once I gave that up, that pretty much ended any potential issues of constipation. I know prior to that, I might need to take a laxative at least once a year. I haven't needed one at all since, and I attribute that to freeing up my body, ridding it of waste or animal products, which I don't feel is something that we as humans need. But that's an opinion. Some people may disagree, may even backed by scientific evidence. But for me, for my body, I don't need to eat an animal. And I bring up this story of veganism and what brought me to it. To give my testimony on the fact that I feel a lot of times we justify doing things to others based off of our belief that we are over top of them or superior, or that we need to do it. I can't let these people get this because then it won't be enough for me. I need to eat this because I need the protein, and I need operating from a mindset of scarcity instead of being open minded and seeing the different and various possibilities, and how those possibilities that are outside the box can actually be more beneficial to you, to include having longevity in your life. I think a lot of the illnesses, diabetes, high blood pressure, all those things are caused by unhealthy diet that is not of this that is not good or alien for the human body. I think the human body. I think a lot of those products, those particularly the consuming animals, is mucus forming, which I believe is the root of all disease or diseases. So, and I formulated this belief system in addition to listen to the young man Ralph Smart, one of the top premier YouTubers on YouTube, especially nowadays, but also a number of other different sources. Dr. Sebi, the great Dr. Sebi, um, just just and other different things I read and information has come to me via a number of sources, and just my own intuition. I feel that we really are all one, and animals. I feel that they have a soul, and it's not for me to be judge and jury on whether their life is to be consumed or not. It's like you eat cows, but you laugh at other people because they eat dogs in another part of the world. But you eating cows, and in another part of the world, people that see you eating cows think you crazy. You know, when I see that, and I see that why people may think you crazy. They think cow is sacred. Some parts of the world, some parts of the East, in certain parts of the world, such as India, or here people look at eating dogs is like it's bad because dogs are viewed as sacred in this society. I mean, dogs is man's best friend. Everyone loves their dog. You know, they don't love each other. They don't love their fellow human beings because how they look or the gender or the sex, but they love the dog. And I think that for me, in addition to seeing the maggots and stuff in the animals, in addition to seeing the fact that I didn't need to eat the animals for protein, I saw that there was a connection between me and the animals that I was eating. Eating someone's baby. I mean, like, the hell? I don't need to do that. You know, I'm better than that. I felt that for my level of knowledge, what was coming to me, there was a better way. And veganism challenged me to look for a better way, to see that, to be aware of what I'm consuming, and the implications. Let me get this right. The implications of what I'm consuming on myself, my body, my internal organs, and others. The mama chicken, you know? So I came to the conclusion that I don't need to do this because there's a better way. And it prompted me to become more aware of those better ways via research. And I make this video to tell you about what brought me to veganism, and also to challenge you, whoever's watching this video, to be aware of what you're doing, what you're consuming. And ask yourself, is it good for me or is it bad for me? And if it's not, what's a better way? And also to ask yourself, is what I'm consuming, is it affecting my mindset, the way I think, the way I see things? Because that's a video for another day. What you eat, you are. Be mindful. Till next time, take it easy.